Hey, what's up? This is Jdsgamer, also known as JDS 4696, and today I'm doing more commentary for my Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes gameplay. Now, as I mentioned before, you can actually consider this a walkthrough. I went through the whole mission of the game, which was rescuing two allies of Snake's big boss. And I already have rescued, as I showed previously, Chico. He's already been rescued and put on the helicopter in preparation for his return to Mother Base. So now I'm on my way to rescuing Paz, which is a girl. Now the indoor environments are really what make, kind of make the game stand out even more. Because most Metal Gear Solid games, they were like an industrial environment, Part 3 was mainly the one that had you like in the jungle setting, like the forest setting, with like woods and trees and forests, a lot of like greenery. But most of the Metal Gear Solid games, those areas were kind of around them, like jungle type areas, but most of the time you were like in industrial like settings, Like on the first Metal Gear Solid, well not Metal Gear, but Metal Gear Solid, you were on the island, Shadow Moses. Now that was still like a facility, but it was like on an island, but it was still like industrial based, like indoor like environments, like you're in buildings and stuff like that. And even Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, first it started on the tanker, like the ship out in sea, and then you went to the big shell, which was like another facility, but it was out in the ocean, but it was still like industrial type setting, it wasn't like trees and forests or greenery or anything like that in the environment.
That's the admin building. Watch your corners.
Because also even Metal Gear Solid 4, the Guns of the Patriots, it was also, now that you kind of went out, you weren't in no forest or anything, but you were kind of like outside at times, But they even had like more of like an industrial type like environment, like buildings and stuff like that. You have to infiltrate and use like, your stealth mechanics to, stick through the environment. But I still believe the industrial environments is where the game, really shines, it shows off like the engine of, how good it really looks, Because if you're looking for like graphics, there's no question like the Metal Gear series, Metal Gear Solid always has been known for having like, some of the best graphics you can see in a video game, for my opinion. As you can see, some of these guards didn't even have like a icon on them because I never did mark them. So some of them you wouldn't even know were there. That's why you would still have to like, sneak through the environment, like use your stealth mechanics to get through the environment. Because there's also now, at the location I'm at now, they have surveillance cameras. So now you have to actually look out for surveillance cameras, which are kind of, they're not that hard to avoid, I could say true, this one game really looks good, when I'm saying, the outdoor environments were beautiful too, and you had like the raining effect, so that even kind of made it stand out and look good and gorgeous. But when you're in the indoor environments, that's what it really like, like whoa, like wow. You could tell this was like, now this is actually on PlayStation 3 too though, but you can tell this is PlayStation 4, graphics engine. Really looks nice. I like how they have like the little rats and stuff throughout the game, like rats and stuff crawling around. That's kind of a nice little touch. Give it a realistic tone to the game, And as you can see, I think Paz, when you find her, you know, even she has been like tortured and stuff, you know, just like Chico, I believe, like tortured or whatever. And hers probably was actually worse. And Paz is a girl that's, you know what I'm saying, a female, a woman, and she's the second and final ally that you have to rescue. And supposedly Paz, I think, kind of like betrayed Big Boss was making them. She actually gave away information about them, and it turns out that she was like a double agent. She was really working for like the enemies as well too, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Boss, get Boss onto the helicopter.
So just like Chico, once you rescue Paz, you have to you know, carry out the facility and back outdoors, you know, like on the grounds, you know, and make your way to like the landing site for the helicopter to come and rescue her. So that's my commentary for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and this is Jdsgamer, also known as JDS 4696. Alright.